Meeting of Tuesday, August 6, 2024. Please join the board in the salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business will be a violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 2, New World Tavern, Carl Hein, owner. Before we start, we're just going to read the governor's order. Sorry, 1 minute, please.
So pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency signed into law on March 29th of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means and in person. So per Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting of the Select Board after notifying the chair, subject to reasonable requirements of the chair so as to not interfere with the conduct of the meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, the chair shall inform other attendees of any recordings. Members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so in the following manner. Tune into PAC Television, Government, Cable Access Channels, Comcast Channel 9 or Verizon Channel 47, and watch the meeting as it is aired live, or watch the meeting live, the local scene website at, and it gives the link. Members of the public who wish to participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner: in person, Great Hall, where we currently are at the second floor, Plymouth Town Hall, 26 Court Street, Plymouth, Mass., or remotely, and the link is provided.
Thank you, Mr. Mahoney. And also for the record, I believe we're being recorded by Plymouth Independent. I was notified earlier today, so I'm told that I'm to announce that, so be it. That being said, please identify yourself for the record and make sure the green light's on. And if I may, the Mass General Laws 138, Section 12 requires proof of liquor liability insurance to be made by filing a certificate of insurance in a form acceptable to local licensed authority. New World has not provided this certificate of insurance to the town. So that's basically what this is, and I believe you understand that, and you are, for the record?
I do. Carl Heine from the New World Tavern. The
Welcome.
binder actually has been sent to Lisa Johnson, who was my contact for the licensing board. So I'm just not sure if you haven't received it, if she has received it.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we can confirm that we have recently received the liquor insurance certificate from New World Tavern, I believe, as of either early today or yesterday. The main reason, again, why this occurred is because we have for quite some time been asking Lisa Johnson's been asking New World Tavern to provide the liquor insurance certificate, and we hadn't received it. So after discussing this with the ABCC and with Lisa and all the authorities, we decided that this was the best course of action. But as Carl mentioned, we have received it as of, I believe, yesterday.
So that being said, that now it's been provided, do you need action from this board, or is that basically up to us, or are we good?
No, at this point in time, he is in compliance with the information we have received.
Any comments from board members? Mr. Blitzer?
Yeah, I just have, Carl, I know you've been operating for a while, and, you know, something like this is probably embarrassing for you to come in like this, but the liquor liability is so important. And being in the business myself, I've owned places, and you know, you just need one incident, and you could lose everything. And it's so important to have it. And also on the other side, if you have a victim that something happens, that they'll be able to get compensated too. So I hope that this doesn't happen again. I'm so happy that you've provided this, and you're still going to be able to operate, because we would have had to revoke you tonight. And let me tell you, I did not want to do that. So
thank you.
I've enjoyed, you know, it's a good, you got a good place, and so anyway, good luck, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mahoney? No, all set. My only question is in something like this, and not to use this as an example, but now that it's here, when there is no liquor liability for an establishment, no matter who it is, does that put the town on the hook, being responsible if there's no liability? In other words, the patron was to get injured or whatever the case may be. Does that put the town on the hook for?
I can't answer 100%, but again, the guidance that we got from the ABCC with this situation is that we cannot allow a business to operate without the insurance. So at this point in time, the next course of action would have been to have the hearing, for the board to make a decision if we didn't have the proper insurance to stop operations. So, but again, at this point in time, they do. So if we were not to take action after we were notified of the fact that there was an insurance, yeah, that there could potentially be some liability to the town.
So let me ask you this, Silvio. When does the town get notified if an establishment doesn't have insurance, and what length of time?
Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
typically annual renewals, as you know, take place in the early part of January. The application process for renewals, whether the liquor license, food establishment license, and so on and so forth, that application period begins right around the October time period, and we accept those applications, and the terms of those licenses are outlined in the application. So this has been going on for quite some time now with New World Tavern. We've been trying to gain the appropriate insurance, which is why we brought this forward to the board.
Okay, yeah, I'm not trying to keep asking questions here, but you're telling me this has been going on since January?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to say something. We need to come up with a policy that does not let this is just crazy, 7 months, 8 months. We need to know, like, the minute it happens, we need to know and have a hearing within our next meeting and take action accordingly. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I think that 7 months is a little long.
Excessive.
Yeah, excessive, and I don't want the town being liable. So if you could check out for the next meeting or the meeting after that, what the policy is. I know council's sitting here, and bring something forward, and we need to vote on it so this doesn't happen again. And if it does happen, then, well, we'll wait till we get the guidelines, but it'll speak for itself. So,
Well, one thing I can say, Mr. Chairman, is that, so I agree that we should never wait this long to receive any part of the application. These businesses continue to operate with or without the appropriate documentation having been submitted to the town. I can say, given some of the most recent events with other establishments, effective yesterday, we have moved our licensing agent, who as you know, has typically worked out of the Selectman's office, transferred those functions and that individual over to the Department of Inspectional Services. The intention is that we believe that having the licensing agent embedded in the Department of Inspectional Services, that is the primary department to issue permits and licenses. We're hoping that any potential future communication breakdown will be mitigated by having that individual work in a department that does this work day in and day out. So that's one measure we've taken, and then certainly we can come back to the board with a policy to prevent this type of problem in the future.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next order of business, annual all-alcohol restaurant license from Grupo Pina Incorporated, doing business as C Senor, 2240 State Road, John Francisco Alvarez Pina, manager. In accordance with Chapter 138 of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended, notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held at Plymouth Town Hall, 26 Court Street on Tuesday, August 6, 2024, at 6 p.m. to consider the application for an annual all-alcohol restaurant license from Grupo Pina Incorporated, doing business as C Senor, 2240 State Road, John Francisco Alvarez, Pina manager. Description of the premises is as follows: 3,110 square feet of restaurant space on one floor consisting of a kitchen, bar, seating area, restrooms, refrigeration, dash storage, 2 entrances and exits. Anyone wishing to be heard on this matter should plan to attend this meeting. I now declare the hearing open. And is there somebody from the restaurant establishment here tonight? Okay. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this all-alcohol license? Come up to the microphone, make sure the green light's on, identify yourself for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jack Gerard, a neighbor of the establishment. I don't, give a liquor license to anybody is fine. I just ask that they respect the neighborhood, that they arrange the deliveries to be done during normal hours, not late at night. Same with the dump trucks, that they be arranged to come at odd hours, at the regular hours, and to keep the noise level down. Because as you can see, I need my beauty sleep. Okay, so that's all that I ask. Is be considerate of the neighbors with the noise factor.
If I may, sir, is this in where the Blueberry Muffin is in that little strip
Yes.
mall? Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
We're right behind there, and
Right.
and the noise really comes
No,
up
I know.
close.
I've dealt with some issues there with the dumpsters and stuff in the
Yeah.
past. Yep.
So, and the previous owner, he was very good. He worked with us, and he worked very hard to keep the noise level down. So,
Mr. Blitzer?
I have a question, sir, because I was hoping that Mr. Grupo, Mr. Alvarez Pina was here, because I have questions, but since you're here, it affects you. The parking situation, has that been resolved? I know the neighbors had some problems back in the beginning. That's a very busy with Blueberry Muffin, with Flynn's. I mean, there was
Yeah.
a Subway there too, I believe.
right, the
It's a-
subway is gone now, but
But there's something going in.
Yeah.
so-
I haven't seen any problem with the parking for us. We're on Janet Street,
Is that behind it?
behind it.
Well, that's where the problem was, so if you're not having, that's good.
Yeah,
That's great.
but my next door neighbor, he was the one who'd be facing the
Yeah.
county road, which is right behind there.
So
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that nobody's here from the restaurant, because I had some questions about,
But yeah, I just
I
asked
had
that
a lot of questions. So
with Justin from the previous owner, he would try to make sure that from 10 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning, it was quiet over there, so that I could get my beauty sleep. So,
very good.
thank you.
Thank you for your input.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone online? Yeah. Mr. Upton?
He's muted.
Mr. Upton?
Can you hear
if
me?
there
Can you hear
go.
me, Mr. Chairman? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry about the delay. I have a brief overview of the concept if it's the pleasure of the board.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, we believe there is a public need for a restaurant at this location. As the board knows, this is formerly Flynn's and Mayflower. We believe there's an appropriate design in the plaza that accommodates parking and prevents noise and light pollution. This restaurant space has been empty for almost a year, so there is a clear need for a family-friendly place at this location. The character and fitness of this applicant, we believe, is strong. Mr. Alvarez Pena is the owner of Casa Cancun in Wareham. He's owned that place for 3 years. He's had no issues with alcohol service or other stuff. He is proposing an authentic Mexican place at this location. He's going to be using family recipes. It's going to be a scratch kitchen. He's going to have the traditional tacos and enchiladas, but he's also going to have more upscale fare that includes pollo con mole, ceviches, and fresh seafood. He'll have a premium selection of tequila and Mexican beer. He's hoping to have a strolling mariachi band, and he will use family recipes, as I said, made by family who include his aunt who raised him, who is planning to move here from Indiana to run the kitchen for him. The manager is his brother, Juan Francisco. He will also be a co-owner. He has 5 years' experience running a Mexican restaurant in Tennessee several years ago. So he has great experience with the supervision, the service, and the sale of alcohol, and he will be tips trained before opening. He's a U.S. citizen, Mass resident. As I said, he has good expertise, and he's very familiar with the safe service of alcohol. So that's the overview. We are certainly committed to working with the landlord and the neighbors on any administrative or operational issues. And with that, we'd be glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yeah, Mr. Repton, what's your capacity with the restaurant?
I am the attorney.
Oh, okay,
and
right.
We prepared the application.
Good, I'm glad you spoke.
I had a little
questions
trouble
I-
getting into the Zoom. I apologize.
Well, no, the questions that I had, you answered the qualifications. I love
Oh,
it as
good.
a family restaurant with scratch kitchen. You're saying all the right things. You heard the neighbor that came in first, talked about the noise at night, late night with deliveries, just minor things. He said there wasn't a parking problem. He didn't believe. So it sounds like there's minimal issues with the neighbors, and I think if you get a little bit of input with the neighbors, you're going to get along fine there. So I wish you well, and good luck, and you have my vote.
We appreciate that.
Any other questions from the board? Seeing none. Anyone else online? Jade? No? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this application? No? Seeing that, I'm going to close the hearing and bring it back to the board.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blitzer, second by Mr. Golden. Discussion? Mr. Mahoney? Yes. Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
Congratulations. Good luck. Underground storage license from Sunoco LP, 2306 State Road. In accordance with Chapter 138 of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended, notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, August 6, 2024, at 6:05 p.m. to consider the application from Sunoco LP for license of a storage of 32,000 of flammable and combustible gas in two 16,000-gallon underground storage tanks located at 2306 State Road. 3 existing 8,000 underground storage tank and 1 existing 6,000-gallon underground storage tank will be removed. Anyone wishing to be heard on this matter should plan to attend this hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition of this application?
I do have someone on Zoom.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Kristen Schwalder. I am the agent for Sunoco. I'm with 7 Multi-Site Solutions. So we are here represented if there are any further questions. Thank you for the introduction. You covered it very well.
Okay, thank you. Any question from the board members? Well, not seeing any in opposition, excuse me. I'll close the hearing and bring it back to the board. Any question from board members?
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Mahoney, excuse me, second by Mr. Golden. Discussion? Mr. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Unanimous. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to the licenses. I believe we have 3 here. And then we have more than 3.
I see, only see 3.
We have 3 one-day wine and malt,
Yep,
operation premises,
yep,
outdoor amplified.
yep. Put your mic on, Dave. That's okay.
Yeah, we have 3 one-day wine and malt
Yep.
applications, 1 alteration of premises, 1 outdoor amplified music, and 2 Eversource utility petitions. And then we have 1 license in conjunction with a new liquor store. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 licenses.
So the one-day licenses, the 3, I'll make a motion to move those 3.
I'll second that.
As written.
Kenny Semkin, owner of Second Wind Brewing. On the license for the 9th, this Friday, I'd reached out to Lisa earlier to notify with the weather coming, the date for that event has been changed to the 14th, Wednesday next week. No other changes to the
So from
application.
8/9 to 8/14,
That's the request, please.
let the record reflect that. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
So we had a motion and a second discussion.
I'll maintain my second if Mr.
Okay.
Bletzer will amend his motion
Motion for the-
in accordance with the change of date.
Yes, the 14th, Charlie.
Okay, we'll change it to August 14th.
For Second Wind Tap Room. So motion by Mr. Bletzer, second by Mr. Golden, with the correction of the date. Discussion. Mr. Mahoney? Yes. Mr. Bletzer?
Yes?
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Now we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, right?
Let's do the...
So we have alteration of premises and outdoor amplified music for Ladder 15 LLC, doing business as Sukasa. Mr. Blutzer would like us to take those 2 separate. Mr. Blutzer?
Kenny? Ken? Just put the mic on and just identify yourself, please, Ken.
Nick Crosby,
Or Nick,
Sukasa.
excuse me.
You're from Ladder 15 LLC?
Correct.
So what is it you're looking to do, just so people watching know what you're doing?
We'd like to make an amendment to the liquor license, please, to allow outdoor dining, or outdoor seating on a back deck, additional seats.
Yep. Thank you. Any questions from board members or comments?
No, I have some comments. I actually, his partner, Aaron Murphy, reached out to me Tuesday. We had a meeting. I went down to Sukasa and met with her, and I went out back, and she showed me the new plan. As everybody knows, that I oppose the plan out front in the sidewalk and the parklets. And Aaron and I talked about that. I explained my concerns with the noise, with the businesses next door, the residents above. And we talked about that. And then she showed me what she wanted to do, and I got the plan in front of me. Everybody has it. And I thought it was a great plan. I looked at what they had out there. It's out back. I think it's got looks like about 20 seats. I'm not sure what they requested, but it looks like, and it's a perfect space for what they're doing. They have a little area that they're going to, the entertainment can play. And I suggested, and they were probably already going to do it anyway, but they're going to be playing where they're playing, the buildings behind. They're going to be facing out, playing out towards Burial Hill. I don't think you'll get any complaints from those folks out there in Burial Hill, but there's no businesses on either side. There is residents. And Erin is, you may have something, you have some support from some of the residents. So I thought it was a great situation. It solves the issue of, I'm all for the amplified music, contrary to what some people think. I just want it in the right location. This is the right location. I think it's perfect. And one more thing, and probably a real asset, is if you drive around, and I hope you encourage your customers to do this, drive around and go up on School Street. There's spaces up there, especially at night, wide open. So, plus they have about 6 spaces. You park and you walk right down to their outside area. It's perfect. So we'll be able to utilize those spaces. We'll be able to take some parking off of Main Street, which will help all the other businesses too. So this is a win, I believe, for everybody, and I encourage the board to support this, and I hope people try this place out. It's going to be a nice little location. So anyway, good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Golden?
Yeah, Nick, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Nick, thank you for being here tonight. Mr. Bletzer mentioned that your partner has engaged the residents in the apartments to gauge their level of support for this. Can you just confirm that on the record?
Yes.
Very good, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Wish of the board?
Good.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Do you want to do both licenses at once?
Yeah, I'd like to approve the alterations and the entertainment license they're requesting.
Amplified music.
Yeah, and again, Nick, to be in the back patio, that's not,
Yeah, I understand.
or we actually already have it for inside, but not out front. I just want to, on the record, I still stand by what I said and, about the front. Anyway, thanks.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Golden. Discussion. Mr. Mahoney?
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I just have
Oh, go ahead.
just a quick comment. I will say I appreciate you folks coming back and issuing a new plan to us. Between engaging your neighbors and removing this from the street, it's satisfied the concerns that I initially had with this project, so I will plan to be in support of this, and I encourage my fellow board members to be as well.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Bletzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you.
Also.
Eversource Energy Work Order 15427646, Eversource Energy Work Order 17305-928, and the license in conjunction with the liquor license for the Grupo Peanut Incorporated doing business as C Senor, 2240 State Road.
Move approval.
Second. Moved by Mr. Golden, second by Mr. Mahoney. Discussion? Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Bletzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. We have 10 administrative notes.
Mr. Chairman, if it's all right with you, I'd like to take 7 separately.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, we'd like to withdraw admin note number 3.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I thought it was 9, but I was trying to, okay. So administrative note number 3 is being removed till I believe the next meeting. 7 we'll take separate, so we might as well start right with that one.
You may want to say what it is.
So, if it's all right.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The board, admin note number 7 reads, the board will vote to approve the memorial application for a memorial bench in remembrance of Paul ACF to be placed at the end of ACF Way. And I know that there are a number of folks who are in the audience here. If you're here to support this, could you just raise your hand? Yeah, the vast majority of our audience. Thank you all for being here tonight. I do know that the Memorial Advisory Committee took this up and voted unanimously to support this. Having been on the Memorial Advisory Committee, this has been a long time in the making. I think they started this application process over a year ago. And I'm very happy to see this in front of the board. And I don't know if anyone from the group wants to speak on behalf of the group.
Who's the best speaker?
Is this on?
With the green light?
Hi, I'm Charlie O'Rourke from ACF Way. When Paul ACF passed last summer, it left a little, emptiness in the area and the street and all that. He was a firefighter in the town for 33 years, retired as a lieutenant, and I said something has to be done, along with Kevin Doyle, to help out, remember him. And there's a great spot at the end of ACF Way, a little dirt area that I think would be perfect for a bench where people during the summertime could drop off their kids and stuff, whatnot, or just people to sit there whenever. He certainly was a gentleman, and he's very, very deserving of this.
Thank you. Mr. Blitzer?
Being a longtime Whitehorse Beach kid growing up down there, summer resident, AZF was a very important name, and so I'm glad we're able to do this. So, and I'm glad the Memorial Committee, some of the folks are here tonight, okayed this, and so I'm glad to vote yes on this.
Any other comments, questions? Wish of the board?
Motion to approve admin note number 7, a memorial application for a bench in remembrance of Paul ACF.
Motion by Mr. Golden, second by Mr. Mahoney. Discussion? Mr. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Administrative notes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Mahoney, second by Mr. Golden. Discussion? Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Just going to wait 1 second. The next item up, it will be hybrid town meeting.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Kelly McCowith, the town clerk, and with me is town council Kate McKay, in case you have any other questions. This is normally an admin note for the Board of Selectmen. As you know, since 2022, we've had the special act that allows for hybrid town meeting, and the moderator has submitted the request to make the fall annual town meeting as hybrid. And in view of transparency, and this is the kickoff, because as you are aware, the fall town meeting closes on Friday at noontime, so we're going to be knee-deep in the warrant. When the warrant gets posted, according to the special act, we need this document that says that the board approves and issues the following notice about the fact that you voted the special act, or notice voted to have it as a hybrid town meeting. So in the future, we're just going to be moving forward that we're going to have you sign this document in the future, so we have it for transparency purposes if anybody has any questions, and for future town meetings. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Seeing none? What's the wish of the board?
Make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Blitzer, second by Mr. Mahoney. Discussion? Mr. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Board and committee assignments. Excuse me. Plymouth Growth and Development appointment. There's 1 seat vacancy. It's a 2-year term, and we have 1 applicant, I believe is out there, Mr. Peck. Would you like to say a few words, David, or? Okay.
Whoop, okay, sorry about that. As you know, I'm interested in both short-term and long-term planning issues. Certainly downtown parking is both needs planning and is sensitive, balancing the requests of and the needs of the residents and the vendors and our tourists. As a member of the planning board, this was one of my two liaison assignments last year, that and the downtown steering committee. So I was introduced to all the members of the existing members of the committee, as well as the issues, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work in something more than a liaison mode. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. Mr. Blitzer?
David, if you weren't the only applicant, you'd still be unanimous. But I could just say, when I was on the PGDC, we looked to you for guidance. I know when we were doing the garage, we get involved in that, whether we wanted to or not. But we look for you for a lot of guidance in that, and other issues too. So you're going to, I know they want you on that, and you're going to be, they're lucky to have you. And I know Leighton's retiring, that you're filling some pretty big shoes there. Because Leighton Price, I got to say that he's been there since the beginning, and he was instrumental in building Park Plymouth in the PGDC. And he had some great people. He hired some great directors, and Desmond right now is doing a great job managing right now. But you'll be a great addition, so thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you all.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Mr. Mahoney?
I probably should have waited till the end of the meeting, but just picking up where Charlie left off, I mean, we can't thank Leighton Price enough for his contributions to this committee, which I'm guessing go back to 08 or 09. And there was a point in time.
6 or 7. I get on 7.
Okay, all right. So just an extraordinary, almost 20-year run on this committee. There was a goal post-World War II for decades of this community building their, a paid parking structure. This thing over here took 65 years. He got that across the finish line with the help of, obviously a multitude of other individuals, including Mr. Blitzer. But there was a point in time, and, Charlie can back me up on this, in that 07 to 08 range where there was talk about, dismantling that entity and getting rid of it because it wasn't performing the way it should have for the community. And, through the work of Mr. Price and others, that didn't happen. And you can see what they've delivered today, not only the paid parking structure, but I don't know, Charlie, correct me if I'm wrong, picked up, 140 or 150 spots down near the old Radisson?
175.
175, thank you, among other things. So.
All you have to do is go on the website, and you'll see what he's done.
Okay. All right. David, you got big shoes to fill.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Okay. Wish of the board?
Motion to appoint Mr. Peck.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Golden, second by Mr. Blitzer. Discussion? Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Unanimous. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
1749 Courthouse Museum appointments. 2
Mr. Chairman.
seats. Vacancies, 2 3-year terms. Laura Cantelli and Marietta Mullen.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
We did skip the board and committee assignments for us. Did you want to go back to that before we continue?
Let's just finish this one and then we'll scoop
You got
up.
it.
But thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You got it.
Is Laura Cantelli here?
Going back to 1, 2.
Could you want to come up and say a few words? Make sure the green light's on, please.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So why would you like to be on the 1749 courthouse or
Committee?
continue on?
Okay, well, I've been working at the courthouse. This is my 3rd season. I totally enjoy every day I'm there. It's my passion. I love the visitors that come through the door. I was astonished when I first started working there at how many visitors travel from Europe to this town to see our history, to come to our museum, to learn about it. It just was astonishing. I couldn't believe it. So I am so happy to be a part of that, and I can't tell you how much I love it. It makes me happy.
Great. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Any questions or comments from the board? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Marietta Mullen?
I started the 1749 courthouse 3 seasons ago. I also worked for Plymouth Plantation for 33 years and retired in 2015, and I was very fortunate to win the American Association for State and Local History for bringing Mayflower 2 back, the story back. And I was the third person to win it since 1946, and I was the first. There were 2 men before me, and then it was me. So that really, I love history, as you can tell. And then I retired, and I decided, I want to learn more about the museums here. So I ended up working 2 days a week at the Mayflower Society House, which I loved it, and I helped in the Sparrow House interpretation. And then I came to the courthouse, and it just kind of like, wow, I didn't know very, very much about this, and I love it. And, you know, the most important thing is the visitors love it, and they come in, and we talk, and then at the end they say, and it's so important you know this, how wonderful this town of Plymouth is letting us come to a free museum. And that says it all. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments?
I have one comment for both ladies. Thank you for your volunteerism. You're ambassadors for the town of Plymouth, because you're the ones that see the tourists, and you're the impression that they get. And when they, you can, yeah. No, but that's good, and you.
The amount of people that come through the museum who live in Plymouth and never knew it was there and discover it, walk out of there saying, this is such a gem.
Good.
Thank goodness they never tore that building down during urban renewal.
Yeah.
When Mr. Russell did all his committee work and historical background work that got that building saved, I can't talk enough about that man. We're so thankful. And everyone, like I said, that comes through, whether they're visiting Plymouth, are residents of Plymouth, and get to see that museum, they leave happy and so glad they came in. And we love to talk. So we could talk all day. But anyway, it is a fabulous piece of history, and I'm so happy it's here.
Like I say, thank you. This town has volunteers second to none any other town in the state, and it's the reason why we're so successful. Thank you so much. I'll make a motion to appoint both ladies.
The only thing I
Mr.
just wanted to
Brindisi.
mention, I wanted to thank the 2 committee members, but part of our reorganization, one of the things that we were able to do is offer Connor Anderson, who's the town's archivist, to work with the committee, and he's been working with the committee on a regular basis to give them the support that they need so that they are successful. So we
appreciate him so much. And he's going to bring that to the 1749 courthouse. He's going to bring, it's going to be one of the best museums. And I have the background, and, you know, I'm telling you, he's going to just let it soar. Oh, I get what?
You got to repeat everything.
And that's funny. I've worked with many different people in the years, and I'm so impressed with Connor. his ideas and how he can talk to a staff member and just want to find out what I'm thinking or what someone else is thinking. You got one of the best men here, and he's going to bring, and I guarantee you that someday I'll be back here saying, we're number one in Plymouth, the 1749 courthouse. And every Sunday I work, and we get 96 people. The last 2 Sundays, I'm trying to break 100, but it hasn't happened. Do you know, when I worked at the Mayflower Society, we were lucky we got 15. 96 visitors is a lot of visitors in a day for any museum. So we're going to have to go, otherwise we're going to be up here all night.
Well, we'll let your nephew know that we met you tonight, so we'll let your nephew Connor know. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Thank you.
Okay, there's no other questions? Ms. Silvio, Mr. Gennaro?
Just one last thing. I just wanted to say that it sounds like it's a mutual admiration society, because Connor speaks about you folks as well, and he really appreciates the work that you folks do. So we wanted to make sure we let everybody know publicly that we really appreciate what you do.
Wish to the board.
I'd make a motion, we appoint both ladies.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blutzer, second by Mr. Golden. Discussion? Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Blutzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, ladies. I'm going to come down and see you. I'm going to come down and see you in the courthouse.
Definitely. Yes, everybody, please. Come and see us every day. We got to fix the website.
Yeah, is that all right? Okay, thank you. The next appointment is the Cemetery Committee appointment, and that's Mr. Glenn, a 3-year term. And I don't know if Mr. Glenn would like to say anything or not, but you're more than welcome to. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm a little surprised it was 3 years. They must have snuck that in. It's a job I'm dying to do, obviously, but it's had to throw that in there. 6 years ago, my son passed on to another place, and I went to the Plymouth Cemetery people, and I was amazed at the care that they showed me and my wife and the way they took care of us. And then I found out of the dire circumstances of the cemeteries in Plymouth and the shortages. And fortunately, we found a place down in Cedarville, and they asked me if I'd care to help rectify the situation. We've done, Everett was there for a while. We've done a lot of good work already with new stuff coming on board. We've raised some of the rules and regulations and changed it around, and we have a lot more work to do. So I'm looking forward to contributing in this area of the town.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I have just a comment, Matt, same thing I said about David, the respect for you that I have, successful businessman, great supporter of the town of Plymouth, your knowledge, just in everything in life. We're lucky to have you, a guy of your qualifications, wanting to volunteer on a board. And it's because of, guys like you and David and these ladies, and we are so lucky in this town. We couldn't afford to hire you, so really.
No, you couldn't.
Well, no, I know. So anyway, I want to thank you.
And I would like to say, just like the ladies did, come on down and visit us.
Yeah.
Save you a spot.
Any other questions or comments? Wish of the board?
Make a motion that we appoint Matt Glenn as on the cemetery committee for, that's a 10-year term, I believe. Is it 10 years? No, 3 years.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blutzer, second by Mr. Mahoney. Discussion. Mr. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Blutzer?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Matt.
Board, committee, and assignments. I believe that Mr. Golden has the sheet.
Yep.
For us, and the previous and
Yeah, so we have a number of positions that we need to fill. Based on former Selectman Helm's departure from the board, he previously occupied the Affordable Housing Trust, which Mr. Mahoney has agreed to liaise with. He also was on the Cal Advisory Board and the liaison to the Center for Active Living. Mr. Bletzer has agreed to fill both of those. He was also the representative for No Place for Hate. Mr. Mahoney has agreed to that. And lastly, he was on the White Horse, he was liaison to the White Horse Beach Parking Committee, and I have agreed to fill that role as a Manomet resident. Additionally, in an effort to strengthen our relationships with the legislative branch, I made a suggestion that we create a liaison to the Committee of Precinct Chairs. I have agreed to fill that spot as a former member of the Committee of Precinct Chairs. And then, let me just see here. Mr. Bletzer is replaced on the Harbor Committee by Mr. Mahoney. Mr. James Downey is replacing Ms. Sheila Sgarzi on the Old Colony Joint Transportation Committee. And Mr. Bletzer is replacing Mr. Canty on the South Shore Community Action Council. Then we have remaining in place the Capital Improvement Committee, which is Mr. Mahoney, the Cemetery Committee, which is Mr. Quintal, the CPC, which is Mr. Mahoney, the Distinguished Visitor Committee, which is Mr. Canty, the GATRA Advisory Board, which is Mr. Brindisi, the Insurance Advisory Committee, which is Mr. Quintal, the MBT Advisory Board, and the Metropolitan Planning Organization, both of which are Mr. Lee Hartman. Mr. Canty is remaining with NDCAP. Miss Michelle Brady is remaining our liaison to the Old Colony Elder Services. Mr. Bletzer is remaining the liaison to PAC TV. Mr. Quintal is remaining the liaison to both the Plymouth County Advisory Board and the Plymouth Regional Economic Development. And Mr. Bletzer will remain as the Roads Advisory Committee liaison. We have an outstanding question on the natural resources and coastal beaches piece, which we'll get an answer for in a future meeting. And I'm also serving as the chair per our last meeting for the wastewater, groundwater discharge Citizen Advisory Committee.
Any questions or comments from the board as presented? The only one we're going to revisit will be the natural
resources and coastal beaches
at a future meeting. Do we need a motion for that? We do.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Mr. Golden, second by Mr. Mahoney as presented this evening. Discussion. Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Bletzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. And David, if you'd be as kind to pass that on to Jade. Yeah, we can give it back to you after. Oh, that wasn't too smart, trying to do that to Jade. Mass dot presentation, River Street Bridge Project. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Bill Coyle, DPW Director. Thank you for having me. So I'd like to discuss with you briefly tonight a project that was presented to us internally. This is a project that is being constructed by Mass DOT. They are looking to reconstruct 8 bridge decks, one in Plymouth. This is the River Street Bridge deck over the Plymouth-Patuxent Highway. And the reason we're here this evening is we as a community have 2 options on how this project will advance forward. We can close the bridge and construct this, reconstruct the bridge deck in a time frame of 1 year, or we could do one lane alternating with a temporary traffic signal, and the project would then be extended an additional 4 months, which would be 1 year and 4 months of construction. We've had internal meetings with DPW police and fire, and obviously with the Mass DOT representatives. And all three parties internally, DPW, police, and fire, are in support of closing the bridge and completing this project in a shorter time frame. So this evening, we have several members from Mass DOT and their consultant from Skanska and Benesh here to answer any questions you may have. So we have Alvaro George from Skanska. We have Robert Caleri from Skanska. We have Tony Temperio from, is a design manager with Benesh. We also have Bob Caleri. He is the assistant construction engineer of District 5 in Mass DOT. So I'll introduce Alvaro to come and present the options, and he'll be here as long as you'd like to discuss and answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coyle.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, so my name is Alvaro George. I'm a project manager with Skanska USA Civil for the Bridge Bundle project. So first of all, I'd like to thank on behalf of the project team, the town of Plymouth and its board members, the opportunity for us here to explain the project today. So we're going to go through some slides, a presentation. So just a quick project overview. The owner is MassDOT District 5, as Bill explained earlier. The design build team is Skanska USA Civil as a contractor and Alfred Benesh as a designer. So the project consists of the design and construction of 8 bridge decks at 6 locations in the towns of Duxbury, Lakeville, Mansfield, Plymouth, and Wareham. The project started August 2023. That's when the design started, and we've got an anticipated final completion of end of November 2026, and that's including all the project locations. This is just a slide with the project plan view of the location in Plymouth. That's River Street over the Plymouth-Patuxent Highway. This bridge has 2 lanes of traffic at River Street, 1 lane per direction, and that goes over Plymouth-Patuxent Highway. This bridge has 3 spans consisting of steel girders, and the project limits are just located here where these transversal lines are. So the scope of work is the bridge and then about 100 feet on each side of the bridge structure. This project has already started, so you might have seen out there some work. We've achieved some utility relocations, tree clearing, and we actually started the paint removal on the steel girders. The project scope of work, just summarizing the main items, we're replacing the bridge decks. We're cleaning, painting, and repairing the structural steel. Steel girders are not being replaced, so those remain in place. We're repairing existing substructure concrete, replace bridge bearings and joints, construct new railings and barriers, as you see here in this transversal section, this protective fence and this rail on each side of the bridge. And we reconstruct the roadway on the approaches. So here we have the guardrail, new curb, and new sidewalk. Okay, next slide explains what the original design of this project was, and this was phased in 2-stage construction. This might have been what was already presented in public hearing meetings and public information meetings by MassDOT and Skanska as the contractor. So the original design consisted, as I said, of the traffic control management, has 1 lane of alternating traffic on top of the bridge, and the other half of the bridge is closed to traffic, so that's the construction work zone. This alternating traffic is controlled by traffic signals on each side of the bridge. And as you see here on the transversal section, there's a barrier that divides where the traffic and pedestrians would be to what the construction work zone is. So initially, this half of the bridge we demolish and reconstruct the new deck along with the railings and the protective fence, while traffic and pedestrians are in this narrow area. It's important to mention also that with this solution, there'll be a full closure of River Street required while demolition works are occurring, and that's for safety reasons while that demolition takes place. Once this stage 1 is complete, we move on to stage 2, which basically flips the traffic onto the new constructed deck, as you see here in this cross-section, and that leaves a remaining portion of the bridge to be demoed and constructed again. Again, here on the plan view, one bidirectional alternating traffic and controlled by traffic signals on each side of the bridge. During this stage, same as stage 1, full closure of River Street would be needed during a 2-week period, and that's during demolition. Okay, so during design development and some refinement of the schedule, the project team thought about a solution that reduces the construction time by 4 months, and this is by fully closing River Street while we're constructing the bridge and implementing a detour with that full closure. So that detour has a distance of 2.2 miles. Just to explain what that detour is, here if you start off on the east side of River Street Bridge, you drive on East Street, you take a left on Clifford Road, then another left on Warren Avenue, which is Route 3A. Then you take a left here on Cliff Street. Once you reach Sandwich Street, you turn another left, and then you take a sharp right here, sharp left back onto River Street. Okay, this solution, DPW Public Safety, Fire and Police Department have reviewed the detour and has taken no exception to this traffic control plan. It's important to mention that during the previous solution, which is a stage construction, while you have those traffic signals, there would be a delay, traffic delay, while vehicles approach that bridge, a total time of 4 minutes, while they're waiting for the other bound and pedestrians to cross the bridge. This solution also brings a fewer number of short-term lane closures, both day or night on Plymouth-Patuxent Highway. There would be less impacts to peak museum visits. As we know here, the River Street Bridge is adjacent to the Plymouth-Patuxent Museum. And we also marked here that there would be no impacts to school bus routes starting the school year September 2025. This is just a view of the project schedule comparing both alternatives. So the original design, as it has 2-stage construction, If we started September after Labor Weekend, stage 1 would extend all the way to April 2025. Then after stage 1 is complete, we flip the traffic to the other side of the bridge and start stage 2. That would extend from May 2025 all the way to October 2025. The alternative that we're looking at was a full closure. If we start at the same time after Labor Weekend in September, that would extend to beginning of July 2025. So our goal would be to complete the structure and have it open back to traffic before 4th of July weekend in 2025. And that finalizes our presentation. We've got room for any questions that you may have. We're happy to answer them.
Any questions from, well, let me see if there's anybody in the audience that would like to speak on this. Please come up. We'll open up to us in a minute. Please identify yourself for the record, and I know you know the gig, and make sure the green light's on, but.
Yep. Charlie Vautrain. I live at 22 River Street, so I'm probably within about 500 feet of the bridge. One question I've got, is you're going to have one sidewalk, or are you going to put one on each side?
There's currently one sidewalk there, so
that's what you'll do. Okay.
That's under that the original design.
Okay.
So just to answer the question, so the original design would have one sidewalk on one side of the bridge, but what we're proposing is a full closure, so that would be closed to pedestrians.
Okay. All right. Actually, so I would say that I'm in favor of the quicker plan of a total and make a detour, not the one lane, okay? I wish I could say I've talked to the neighbors and found what they think, but I only just found out about this, like in the past week. Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead, Charlie.
So, Charlie, you live right there, so you're the guy to ask. So you're in favor of the quicker plan?
Yes, shut the whole thing.
Okay, great, because that's what I'm feeling, but I don't live there, so I don't know the inconvenience.
Well, we're used to it because the River Street bridge that's over the Eel River was closed.
Yeah.
And that impacted us too, but.
And you can see when it's open, and it's going to be a much better situation. Okay, great.
Yeah. So that's my vote. Okay.
Good. Well,
All
that's
right.
going to be mine too, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Anyone else? Come on up, please. Identify yourself for the record.
Steve Lantang. One easy question is it more expensive for the 1 lane or 2 lanes, budget-wise? That was it. I'm curious.
That was going to be my question too, so.
I could answer for MassDOT, which are the owners of the project, but it would be the same. Yeah, we've got a fixed price for the design build project.
So it's the same. So in answer to his question, which is a question I had too, so it's going to be the same price, but it'll be quicker if we can close the bridge.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Good. What's that? And MassDOT's paying. That's the best part too.
Any questions for him, John?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So, going to the cost, so the entire price tag is being picked up by the Commonwealth?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So about a year and a half, 2 years ago, Mass DOT fell onto $50 million of excess federal highway money that other states couldn't use. So there was sort of a stipulation with it. If MassDOT could appropriate the funds in 9 months, they could have the $50 million from the federal government. So we put this project out on the street. We had 8 bridges throughout the state that needed repairs. Two of the bridges are in Plymouth. So it's federal highway money flowing through Mass DOT, but the entire project is being picked up by Mass DOT. Depending on which option the board votes on tonight, it's not going to change the price tag because it's actually already been bid by Skanska. They were the lowest bidding contractor about a year ago. So it's going to help Skanska get in and out as quick as possible. It's going to ease traffic through the area. So there's no price differential for Mass DOT or for the Commonwealth, and there's no impact to Plymouth at all.
Okay, so are we effectively getting a brand-new bridge?
Close to a brand new bridge. So these are preservation projects. So typically what Mass DOT does, when you design a new bridge, construct a new bridge, it's typically a 75-year lifespan for a new bridge. These are preservation jobs. So we're looking at 20 to 40 years. It's not a full replacement, but that was stipulated under this federal highway money that we were looking at preservation jobs. So we're looking at 20 to 40 years.
Okay, so recently I think government has figured this out, that the best option is to give the contractor basically 24 hours around the clock. We see Boston do it with respect to the tunnels. I think a decade or so ago we shut down Water Street, and just to make it easier, and in that case it was to order to deliver the project completed before the Thanksgiving Day parade occurred. So I'm completely supportive of, the shorter option here. But is there any, if you forecasted or you knew you were going to have phenomenal weather for a week or a month at a time, would you expand from an 8-hour day to a 10 or 12-hour day to even, would you have the ability to even further deliver the project done another, whether it's a few weeks or a couple of months earlier? Or you're just going to move forward with 8-hour days?
It's a good question. I'll let the contractor.
Yeah, I mean, we work with that all the time, so we'll adapt to what's needed to get the project done as soon as possible. So in some instances, there may be some activities that extend past 8 hours, and others would just remain 8 hours.
Just referencing a decade ago, the Water Street project, I think the board had signed off on the contract as being able to work 7 to 7. Mm-hmm. So is this something that would only start at 8 a.m. because of proximity to a residential neighborhood?
Yeah, and not only that fact, but there's also traffic control involved. So a lot of the activities we need to perform on this bridge involve closing lanes or closing shoulders. So those are all fixed to restrictions of when we can close it.
So what do you mean when you can close? So if we opt for the option of complete closure, you're going to need, what's the term I'm looking for, the traffic you're going to need a detail, correct?
Yes.
Initially.
Yeah.
But once that's complete and both ends are closed, does the need for the detail go away?
So the thing is, it's a bridge over the Plymouth-Patuxent Highway.
Correct.
So although we're working on top of the bridge, we still need to have police details and closures down below. So those are fixed to
dependent on the tasks that you're doing that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on what our restrictions we have to close lanes on that highway.
Yeah, I think it's great that Mass DOT made the move when that $50 million came open, but still, and obviously you've got a project you've already bid, and you're locked in with respect to salary, and you probably don't want to throw a lot of overtime out there, but if you had the option, I certainly would love to see you even accelerate it a little bit more.
Yeah, and we'll work with that.
Thank you.
I had one question. Is this a union job or non-union job?
Yeah, some activities are union job, they're based on prevailing wages. Yeah.
Right, thanks.
Mr. Golden.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I live in Manomet. I talk about living in Manomet a lot. Is there going to be any impact to folks coming north from Manomet to get on to Route 3, going under the bridge?
There shouldn't be any affection there, but I'll defer to the designer, Tony Timperio.
As he mentioned,
There shouldn't.
Tony Temperi, I'm the design manager from Vanish. As Alvaro mentioned, we need to work above the bridge, but there's occasion where activities affect Plymouth Tuxix below. So there may be a shoulder closure at times or a lane closure, but the option is to keep traffic always open down below.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the audience? Anybody online? Jade? No? Okay, bring it back to the board.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve, but I'd like the shorter, the 1 year, the shorter solution. Shorter the shorter full closure detour. Thank you, Mr. Beltran. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Bletzer, second by Mr. Golden. Discussion? Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Bletzer?
Yes.
Mr. Golden?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. Mr. Cahill, Mr. Coyle.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the Select Board. My name is Michael Cahill. I'm the Climate Resiliency and Sustainability Planner for the town. I last came before you in late May with the Climate Action Net Zero Committee, and you voted to approve our Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. I'm here before you tonight to give an update on one of the projects outlined in the plan, and that is the Downtown Resiliency Project. This project was first envisioned by my predecessor, Mark Reel, the town manager, Derek Brandisi, and director David Gould. And it seeks to envision 3,000 linear feet in the downtown area, running from Main Street Extension to Samoset Street. The goal of the project is to re-envision this area and brace for the effects of climate change. Specifically, we're going to be looking to mitigate urban heat island effect, improve stormwater management in this area, provide community enhancement, and also provide pedestrian safety. DPW went forward and they created the North Plymouth circulation study. During that study, they used GPI Engineering, Greenman Pearson Incorporated. Through the development of this plan, we've elected to also use GPI to ensure that there's cohesion between the two plans. Urban heat island, so heat is attracted to dark surfaces, specifically pavement and concrete. We could refer to that as gray infrastructure. In areas that are heavily urbanized, where there is very limited airflow between dense buildings, heat is essentially attracted and trapped. In New York City, it's been documented to show an increase in temperatures of 22 degrees between areas that are highly urbanized and areas that have some semblance of vegetation. In Boston, in a study conducted in 2018, urban heat island was documented to show, on average, between areas that are highly urbanized and areas that have some vegetation, a temperature swing of 12.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is a map that was generated by the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. They mapped out where the most severe urban heat island is across the country. This area in the downtown Plymouth, the project's site, is the most severe urban heat island in town. You can see that it is denoted by the dark pink color there. Alignment with other town plans. This project is directly aligned with both the Municipal Vulnerability Plan, which was passed in 2020. It is aligned with 3 actions within the plan. And additionally, it is directly aligned with numerous priorities outlined in the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. The Climate Action and Adaptation Plan has 5 main areas of focus: transportation, health, safety, and preparedness, buildings, energy, and infrastructure, waste, and natural systems. This project is aligned with transportation, health, safety, and preparedness, natural systems. So this is a multifaceted project that will be achieving multiple priorities for us. In total, there are numerous benefits. Like I mentioned, this is a multifaceted project, but the main ones that we can expect is reduction of severe urban heat island effect, improving human health, biological health, and environmental health. Additionally, by cooling this area, we can expect to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and energy usage for buildings and residential and commercial. Improvement of stormwater runoff and management. This area, over 50% of it is impervious surfaces. The goal of this project is to help retain stormwater runoff and also mitigate it before it reaches the harbor. promotion of community connection with nature-based solutions and essential ecosystem services. The best way to mitigate urban heat island effect is through the planting of native trees and vegetation. That's what we're seeking to do in this project. Additionally, this project will incorporate significant improvements for pedestrian access and eliminating public safety hazards in the downtown area for both pedestrians and cyclists. Additionally, the downtown area is the economic hub of the town. By improving connection in this area, improving the aesthetic features of this area, and improving historical characteristics, we'll be improving interactions between consumers and businesses, leading to economic development in this area. And then finally, building social resilience through community engagement and education. I went through today and I pulled out some of the town buildings, the businesses, and the amenities that are offered in this area. I think this is a good demonstration to show how much of the town is actually going to be impacted by this project. It's important to note that the downtown area truly is the heart of Plymouth and is home to where many members of the community work, live, gather together, congregate, and also go to obtain their services and goods. So today we're going to go through 9 of the aspects within the plan. We can go through them individually, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to go and answer them as best as I can. It's important to remember that this is just conceptual design. These are all just ideas that we're working on. We hope to finalize design in July of 2025. So the first is Depot Square Park. This one is a pretty self-explanatory one. What we're looking to do here is add trees in this area, improving urban heat island effect, but also improving the aesthetics of this location. Second is St. Peter's / Pilgrim Memorial Hall. This is a privately owned lot, but what we're proposing to do here, we work with the church to add trees along the street and within the parking lot. Additionally, we are seeking to flip the parking spaces. There are currently 4 entrances to this lot. We would like to cut that down to 2 and flip the parking spaces from being horizontal to vertical. Currently, the way that it is situated, there are between 72 and 79 parking spaces. This area down here, as you can see from this image, is it's not clear if these are parking spaces or not. But with the switch that we're proposing here, all of this dark shaded area will be vegetation and trees, and we will be improving to 73 parking spaces from, like I said, somewhere between 72 to 79 spaces. Next is reflective surface treatment. Along the street, we have 146 parking spots. When you add those all up, it equates to 0.536 acres. So what we would be looking to do would be to have these parking spaces shaded white or light. That way they are not absorbing heat. Additionally, it will also double as being able to denote parking spaces, making parking a little bit easier for both residents and tourists entering the area. Intersection improvements. Part of the plan that we're looking to do in compliance with the Northland Circulation Study was to have some bump outs and improve the pedestrian walkways. As you can see here, we have some bump outs which should allow for pedestrians to be able to see out behind the cars. That way they are more visible to cars driving by and they have a better look at the road as they're going through. There are numerous improvements that we're doing at the crosswalks. These are a couple right here, right in front of Town Hall, which show a good example. But they're all across the project, the 3,000 linear feet, there are numerous walkways that we're looking to improve. The Courthouse Green, right out in front of Town Hall. When this was originally created, the pathway only goes halfway across the green there. Additionally, there is no pathway that connects from the road directly to Town Hall. What we are seeking to do here is beautify the green space, adding trees and symmetry. Additionally, we would like to complete the pathway. As you can see here, we're proposing an oval pathway connecting to both sides for easy access to both the flagpole and to Town Hall. Additionally, what we would like to do is to improve this area up front, allowing that to be a place where community members congregate and have some seating options there as well. Additionally, one other aspect of this project that is worth noting, if anyone has been outside Town Hall during a rainstorm like we had today, I'm sure you've seen the torrent of water running downstream towards Brewster. What we would try to do here is incorporate some pervious surfaces to catch and retain water before it gets to that point, also filter it, and incorporate some green infrastructure if there's a possibility for rain gardens, some small vegetation that we can put in place to catch water before it runs downstream. That's something that we're definitely looking into as well. Town Square. This is an exciting one. There is the median right here in Town Square. I know we had the presentation from 1749 Courthouse as well. What we're looking to do at this area would be to get rid of the median, widen these sidewalks here on the side, and have some trees on the sidewalk, really emphasizing the facade of the church there. So back in 2020, Beta put together a plan for this area, and GPI is actually very much in line with what Beta was proposing. So this is what they were looking at. Like I said, 4 trees really highlighting the facade of the church here, improved sidewalks here for improved pedestrian connectivity, and also really beautifying this area. This is an aerial of it just to get a sense. Lots of vegetation incorporated here in nature-based solutions to help mitigate some of the climate change effects that we were talking about earlier as well. And I think this photo really demonstrates what we could do in terms of community enhancement in this area, and offering this to be a place in downtown Plymouth where people can congregate. Additionally, this is pretty spot on with what the historic photos looked like. Once again, 4 trees really highlighting the facade of the church. Next, street improvements. Where possible, we will be incorporating street trees. In areas that street trees are not feasible, we will be looking to incorporate shrubs and low-growing vegetation. One interesting note as well, we are working with botanists and arborists from the state to ensure that the vegetation that we do plant is resilient to climate change effects and projections that are happening in this area. We want to make sure whatever we plant is going to be there for the long term. The public parking lot at Market Street. The way that it is currently set up, it is a 3-tier parking deck. What we are proposing here is 2 tiers with vegetation throughout this area. Once again, shifting the parking spaces to be able to allow for a few more cars and a little bit easier access through this area. We have 2 proposals that we are currently working on. We will be looking at these with DPW as well to ensure that we are in compliance with what they are thinking for this area. As you can see here, we have a pedestrian walkway here. This option has 4 entrances, 2 on Market Street and 2 on Main Street Extension. Additionally, all of these dark areas are vegetation as well. This outcome would give us 49 spaces. There are currently 49 spaces. This outcome would give us 59 spaces, gaining us 10 parking spots. The one on the right, as you can see here, it only has 3 entrances. We removed this entrance. That is because of the close proximity to this pedestrian walkway. Working with DPW, we'll evaluate if this is feasible to close this down, to leave this open. If not, we will close it down, and that would give us 53 parking spaces, which would still gain 4 parking spaces overall. And then finally, the new intersection at Market Street. So what we're proposing with this one is removing this intersection here in the middle, making the traffic flow a little bit easier between Market Street and Sandwich Street. And same thing, we'll be working with DPW to ensure that this turn onto the bridge is in compliance with everything, all of their standards. But this is an exciting possibility that we think will improve both pedestrian traffic through this area and also improve vehicular traffic as well. Then finally, to the funding piece, my predecessor was able to secure $126,400 at Fall Town Meeting 2023. Additionally, VSB generously provided $50,000 towards design and permitting. I should back up. The $126,400 was for the conceptual design phase. To get us to final design, we required additional funding. We went to VSB and we secured $50,000. I'm happy to announce tonight that on Friday, Governor Moore Healy and Secretary Catherine Tapper of EEA has fulfilled our request, our MVP action grant request for $361,000 to finalize design. So now we have enough funding to get to final design for this project. Additionally, there is an educational outreach aspect to this project as well. Within the grant proposal, we had proposed a robust education plan that includes programming for first grade, fifth grade, 12th grade, and community workshops. For first grade, we will be offering a 7-session series to 8 local classes. For fifth grade, a 6-session series for 10 local classes. For 12th grade, 5-session series for 20 to 30 students. And we're envisioning reaching out to local high school engineering students, art students, and environmental science students and have them create conceptual designs, which we will feature as part of an interactive walking tour throughout this area to show some of the mitigation that can be done with climate resiliency. And then finally, we will be hosting 3 community workshops for local residents to learn about the project and also provide feedback on the project. And Mass Autobahn has signed up to do our community outreach as well, so we'll be partnering with them on this project. And then finally, we have submitted a request for congressional directed spending through Housing and Urban Development. We're expecting to hear back from that in the short term, but that would provide us with construction funding for this project. And that's all I had. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Mr. Blitzer?
Yeah, Mike, great presentation. This is very exciting. I know Derek's been talking about this for a long time, doing this, and it's one of the goals, and looks like we're going to get there at some point. I have a couple of questions. St. Peter's, I saw you doing that. Is that going to be done through the town, or obviously St. Peter's, we can't make them do that, so is the town going to do that?
So that would be a collective partnership. Most of the funding would go towards tree planting. The other piece would just be kind of repositioning the parking lot. So that would be a public-private partnership that we would create.
I mean, let's face it, everybody in town knows that parking lot is, I know it's privately owned, but they're very generous with letting people use that parking lot. They're very generous, and they've always been like that. So whatever we can do to help them, I think, is great. The bump outs, you two were talking about bump outs. What are bump outs? Because I was wondering, are they taking parking spaces away, or?
So there will be no parking spaces lost. We are just putting them in strategic locations to improve pedestrian connectivity. So these two right here.
What do they actually entail? What's the bump out?
So just some curving coming out a little bit farther out into the street, just allowing for a better vantage point.
Okay, but we're not losing parking spots?
Correct.
Right,
The 146 parking spots will remain.
Irrigation in the town hall. Is there irrigation there now?
So there are catch basins.
I'm talking about for the lawn. It looks like you want to make that a showpiece.
Oh, sure.
So that's money. I know we're going to do that in the town green. I think it's very important, if we don't have it, that we have it, as well as, it's fertilized, so it looks, like a Brewster Gardens or something like that. I would, but we can't do that without irrigation.
Sure. At this point in time, I can't speak to irrigation. That's something that we will tease out as we get a little bit farther in design phase and get into survey, but definitely something that we would like to
down at South Park, we finally put that back together. NSTAR is done down there, and it looks beautiful. It came out great. I mean, and they have irrigation there. There's another piece of town property which is in front of the Kilwins, with the new terrace, with the big blue building, they call it, and that looks horrible. We put benches there, we put some shrubs in. It's horrible. It's because there's no irrigation. It's not maintained, and I don't know if there's something that can be done about that too. Maybe it's probably not your. I'd love to have. I wish Mike Vogel would do it, but I've talked to him about doing that because it looks horrible. There's no sense even putting any more shrubs in there because they're just going to die. But that would be nice. That's right on the waterfront there. And the last thing, and very important, is that when you were showing the Market Street and the Main Street parking lot, the PGDC has a design. David has seen for a parking garage, and it's got it's a couple hundred, 200 to 300 parking spots. It's a beautiful design, and it not only is it, but in between the 7-Eleven and the restaurant, there's a walkway courtyard that got put in that would fit in nicely with what you're doing up by the 1749. You could have parking, and it walk right up to that beautiful area up there. You know, it's probably at this point now 15 million. Now it was 7 to 9, and then when we tried to do it, it was about 12 million. We couldn't do it. We didn't have the money to do it. That was right at the time we did this garage up here. But that would be something, if we could ever get that kind of money, doing something like that down there, you know, and using trees and that where they were putting that courtyard, you know, for some shade areas, and but something just to look into, and if we could ever put that as part of this climate resilience plan for the downtown, this would be great.
Sure. Yeah, and we have been collaborating with PGDC.
Okay, so they have the plans.
Yeah, so they provided us a letter of support for the MVP application, so we'll continue to keep them in the loop in this process, and any way that we can work together,
great.
we'll certainly make sure we do.
So anyway, good work. This is very exciting.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Mr. Mahoney?
Great presentation, Mike. I loved how you just moved it right along. You didn't fool around. You went right through it. I just wanted to thank the chair of the VSB for their $50,000 contribution towards the this project, the infrastructure project. And what are next steps?
So we're expecting that design and permitting will be finalized in July of 2025. For this project, we would be proposing construction in the fall, winter, and spring, not to interfere with the economic activity in the downtown area. This is all contingent on when construction funding is finalized, but we could be on track if funding is available to go out to bid in fall and begin construction in fall of 2025.
So this entails probably a stop at town meeting April of 25? Is that part of the?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
We'll have a little bit more information when that congressionally directed funding comes out.
Yes.
But from there, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Mike, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to go over a lot of that with me yesterday and answer all my questions. I learned a lot, and that's why I wanted to have the meeting with you, and I think you're doing a fantastic job. And no more coffee.
Thank you.
You're the only person I know that talks faster than me. Anyone wishing to speak under public comment? Please identify yourself for the record.
Good evening. Steve Lyden, Distinguished Visitors Committee. As you know, we just finished a very fantastic week with our delegation that was here from Japan. There was a few glitches. It wasn't, we ran into a few glitches, but everything worked out great, and we had a great visit with them. But this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for all different people, the town of Plymouth, the town manager and employees, the selectmen. Your support showing up at our meetings and different functions was great. The public schools were great. They gave us an air-conditioned bus to go to Boston and pick them up, which was a godsend, because I know I rode the bus. The Plymouth Development Corporation, Captain John's Boat, the 1620 Hotel, Sea Plymouth, the Chamber of Commerce, Plymouth Hall Museum, Amanda Swift from Salem 5 Mortgage, 71 West, East Bay Grill, Terrace Restaurant, Water Street Cafe, Squinny's, Vitamin C, Breezeway, La Baya, and the host families. I was involved for the first time with the host families, and I'll tell you, it was a great experience, not only for us, but for them. And this year, we're sending our delegation over there, but I hope that when they come back, we're going to be able to have even a better time for them, and it'll be more public, more people will be involved, And I want a banner across like they have the Waterfront Festival across. We can do so much more. And like I said, it was great, and everyone, most of you guys are involved, but it took a lot of different people. It took the town government, it took citizens, and, the residents. It was just great. But I just wanted to, bring it to everyone's attention that how many people did volunteer and how much they cared to get this thing going. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment, please come up.
Hello, my name is Andrea Dickinson. I'm a member of the Open Space Committee, and I'm also on the Board for Sustainable Plymouth. And I just wanted to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the board, to the town manager, to Mike Cahill and David Gould for their leadership with the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. I am just so excited to see it coming to fruition, and I really appreciate the leadership and support. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment? Anyone online, Jade? Oh, I'm sorry. See your hand.
Dale Bryan, current chair of the Climate Action Net Zero Committee. And like Andrea, I'm deeply appreciative of all the activity and all the effort that's been put forward to this project, but it needs to be said, Mike is the man. And Mike is also getting extremely busy with all of the things that the CANS Committee and the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan is putting before him. So I would like to make note that he's doing a great job. He's probably drinking too much coffee, and it's going to probably keep happening. So go easy. Get him support as best you can, and that way we can work with him and help him slow down a little bit. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak under public comment? Okay. Town Manager's Report, Mr. Brindisi.
Great, thank you. So just a few updates this evening. First and foremost, I want to announce that Ms. Casey Kennedy began working for the town of Plymouth yesterday. Ms. Kennedy is the first town's communications coordinator. As you can imagine, she's already extremely busy, working on a number of different communication efforts. One in particular, I think the board will want to note is now that Stevensville is officially open, there's some work that still has to be completed as far as landscaping. So working with Mr. Gould and Ms. Kennedy, we will be preparing for a early October formal ribbon cutting ceremony. We will also be preparing for a formal Station 2 ribbon cutting ceremony for that new station, and then the Manomet Station a few months after that. Additionally, I wanted to announce to the board that unfortunately we're nearing the end of summer, and so because of that, this will be the last weekend that we will have staff at Fresh Pond and Hedges Pond. So again, that's just important for folks to know that after this weekend, we will no longer have lifeguards at Fresh's and Hedges Pond. Morton Park, we will continue to staff that through August 25th, and then we will take a break for a couple of weeks and then staff it for Labor Day weekend. Plymouth Beach, we will staff that through Labor Day, and then the crossover will be closed after Labor Day as well. In addition to that, I want to announce that the Boston Bruins will be coming to town. So for those hockey fans out there, this is their 75th year anniversary. They have chosen 3 locations in Massachusetts to celebrate their 75th year anniversary. One of those is here in Plymouth. So they will be here on August 25th. They are working with Ann Slusser, our recreation director, on a family fun event. That will take place in the parking lot behind Memorial Hall. We will also be closing down Memorial Drive that day as well, so that we can have more of a footprint for that event. So there'll be a number of different things. We expect to see Bruins players in attendance. Nesson will be there, amongst many other things. So again, with Casey Kennedy's assistance, we'll be promoting that far and wide very soon. Moving on to Health and Human Services. I was informed today that our library director, Kelsey Casey, and her staff have created what is known as Recovery Center, Recovery Corner over at the library. So this is, as you know, the department has been doing a lot of work around trying to prevent fatal and non-fatal overdoses in our community. We just issued about $250,000 in funding to support those organizations that do work in that arena. And part of that effort, the library has created this recovery corner where folks can go get free materials and resources and kind of have a safe space to go through those materials. And then you may remember that $50,000 through that effort, that ARISE effort led by Commissioner Brady, $50,000 was awarded to an organization called To the Moon and Back. This effort, this grant effort, was covered by Channel 5 about a month ago. One of the organizations they highlighted in their segment was To the Moon and Back, and because of that segment, they also received an additional $1 million grant. So that $50,000 for this organization turned to an additional $1 million. So, and from what I also know, they will be covered in a future edition of People magazine. So congratulations to Teresa Harmon and the Moon and Back. Congratulations to Commissioner Brady and her team for the work that they're doing around overdoses. We'll continue to look forward to what they just received funding for today, to do a community health assessment, probably starting sometime in late winter, and then that'll turn into a 5-year community health improvement plan. So looking forward to that effort. I want to bring something to the board's attention that Chairman Quinto brought up a few weeks ago, the issue around phones. And so I share that concern, as the chairman does. We've received complaints over my 2.5-year tenure here that sometimes phones, or many times, phones go unanswered. Working with Joe Young, our IT director, he's been trying to tackle that problem. He reported today that all phones in all departments are now being answered. They had to modify the phone network, and I'll quote him, he is telling me that there's a high percentage of the phones being answered, so a very minimal percentage of being unanswered. So we're going to continue to monitor that. We're going to look at the data over the next few months and make those adjustments if necessary. So I wanted to share that with the board because I know that was a concern brought up. State aid is now been finalized with the governor's budget. The town is receiving approximately an additional $1 million in new net state aid. So we plan on going back to town meeting to adjust the budget to account for those new monies. As presented during the budget process, we promised the select board and the school committee that any new net state aid would be a 61 to 39% split. So that'll be appropriated accordingly. Those dollars will be put into salary reserve to cover any offsets of the collective bargaining process. Moving on to elections. So as of this date, over 12,000 ballots are being mailed out to our residents for the state primary. Kelly McElrath, our town clerk, has reported that the town of Plymouth ranks number 6th in Massachusetts for the most ballots requested, mail-in ballots requested. So as you can imagine, that's a big undertaking for a community this size. So those are being mailed out in preparation for the state primaries, which will be on September 3rd. But early voting will begin on August 24th, and that'll extend through August 30th. And like I just mentioned, the primary elections will be on September 3rd. So we'll keep the folks public posted on that. I wanted to let the board know that all of the bylaws that were approved at town meeting in April have been approved by the Attorney General's office. We just received notice of that yesterday, except for one bylaw. That's the loitering bylaw. The Attorney General's office has been working with Town Council, Ms. McKay, and they had sought a 90-day extension for that review. It was granted by Town Council, so we'll be working with the Attorney General's office to get that loitering bylaw passed. And then last, I just want to bring up that working with Mr. Gould, we have set a date of August 26th at 6 p.m. in this room to present conceptual ideas of the reconstruction, renovation of the Full Sail property. As you know, that's 3 different parcels. The board just voted today to execute a purchase and sale agreement with the owner. And then, so we'll be presenting those ideas. We're going to be inviting folks from the White Horse Beach area and the general public, not just those folks, to come to this session so we can present those ideas, receive feedback for the final design. So again, that'll be August 26th. Again, I'll be working closely with Ms. Kennedy on promoting that night so folks are aware. So pending any questions, that's all I have for this evening.
John?
Derek, so that's a Monday night, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so Monday night, all right, in this room at 6 p.m. So she's no longer here. So the intention is to, you're going to maximize out that new hire and advertise that. In the Committee of Precinct Chairs, I mean, so her role will now be to get it over to Mr. Tavares, the chair over there, to, you know, disseminate that data out to all the town meeting members, and then we can get into all the relative entities down in Manomet that might want to weigh in on that, correct?
Right, we'll be reaching out to the various associations, the Manomet Steering Committee, Ms. Alice Baker, and others to ensure that they have proper notice and they can disseminate that information amongst their own constituents.
Okay. Second thing, I think you might have touched on Stevens Field and the potential ribbon cutting early in October, which is phenomenal. I've been down there numerous times. Wonderful project. Especially, I'm going to say this with David out there. You know, David did a great job, obviously, getting it to the final, through the final stages. Ultimate credit goes to the taxpayers of this community for supporting the project. I just see, I've never stepped on a pickleball court in my life, okay? But it's in my future. So having said that, I do acknowledge and I understand that it is a pickleball world here. So spent some time down there Friday immediately after it opened. I've already participated in too many philosophical discussions over tennis versus pickleball. And my biggest fear is that the pickleball courts are being maximized. Other people show up to use them. They have to sit around and wait while we have 1 to 3 tennis courts sitting idle. And I don't know if there's a way to, without doing any damage to the tennis court, where anyone, instead of waiting, you know, is there some sort of temporary net that they could set up on a tennis court where they could play too? I mean, I think it's inevitable that it's going to happen. And I think it's nonsensical for someone to have to wait 30 to 60 to 90 minutes to use a pickleball court while 50 feet away there's a tennis court sitting idle, or they're going to leave. And I think that's unfair. So.
If I
don't
can
know if there's a
respond,
solution
respond to that, no, there should be a solution. So from what I understand, having not played pickleball myself, the pickleball, half of a tennis court side is the size of a pickleball court. So I guess in theory, you know, we could buy additional nets and set those up on the tennis courts. But you raise a point that was debated in the final designs. You know, going into the final design, there were 4 tennis courts. And, you know, our professional staff was advocating to cut that down to 2, knowing that tennis isn't as popular as, say, pickleball. And so I think the compromise was 3 versus 2 versus 4. And that's where we landed. But, yeah, I think that, you know, Ann Slusser and others predicted that this pickleball phenomenon wasn't going away and could see the writing on the wall. So I can work with Ms. Slusser and see if there's some temporary nets we could put up. Just I'd be worried about theft, but beyond that, we could try to figure that out.
Yes, I don't think they have to go up, but there's some option that these people, they'll get acclimated to what we're providing them down there. And if they show up, they know that there might be a net where they could set it up temporarily and take advantage of that, situation so they're not waiting. I'd hate to see that happen. So.
Agreed.
All right, duly noted. Any other comments or questions for the town manager? Nice report, Derek. I'm glad to see that you and staff address the phone as best you can. I mean, I don't expect everybody to answer every phone call. It's, that's crazy, but as long as there's effort there and make things a little better, that's all we can ask. So thank you very much. Anyone have anything under new business? Would that be a yes, Charlie?
Yeah.
Mr. Bletzer?
I really don't want to talk about it, but it was brought up in the independent motorcycle noise. So is there a problem? Is this something that the chief can look into? And do we have a problem? I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that. I just and what I see on Facebook, I don't. I have no respect or no. What I see, I don't believe most of what I see on Facebook. So I'm just wondering if there is an issue and what can we do about it. So.
That's a subjective question, right? So, the motorcycle enthusiasts would argue that loud motorcycles aren't a problem. Right. The folks that are sitting there trying to enjoy dinner sitting in one of our outdoor dining spaces would probably argue differently. We had an effort a couple summers ago to try to encourage people to quote-unquote throttle down. And I would say it's probably ineffective. The problem is enforcement. It really comes down to enforcement. And the police department have mentioned this in the past, specifically the chief, that enforcing loud music, whether it's coming from motorcycles or straight pipes from pickup trucks, is a challenge. They don't have the proper equipment. They don't have the proper manning. Right now, we're approximately 10 to 15% down in manpower in our police department. So the chief has to prioritize calls for service, and so oftentimes things like loud music, take less of a priority.
Right. Kind of like isn't there a snake problem too down there? Getting calls on, as well as
apparently the Independent wants to write a story about a guy who carries around a snake. Yeah. So I guess that's the new rabbit hole we're going to go down.
And about the guy that sits across the street from 71, half naked on his pickup truck and lays out there all day taking a parking space. So I hope he's paying for that parking space.
As long as he's feeding the meter.
He's taking a prime parking spot. But what can we do about stuff like that? I can't. I'm not going to. I'm getting in enough trouble with.
Okay, Charlie, stop.
Dickie, I will stop. Sorry. Anyway.
Mr. Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Sunday night, I believe it was Sunday night, the farewell dinner for the Japanese delegation. There was a member of the state delegation there, Ms. Lenatra, and had a conversation with her. And she said it was distinctly possible that state reps and state senators would be called back to Beacon Hill to weigh in on a economic development bill. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but there was what could potentially happen was significant to the finances of this community. And I know that our warrant closes at noon on Friday, but I just want us to, if somehow something happens, I'd love to see a placeholder for certain things that we could weigh in on as soon as possible for October, because it's that important, in my opinion. And then the second thing I have, and this is it, Mr. Chairman, was the email that we got from the Housing Authority on the Oak Street project. And through you, I'd love to have them come in at their earliest convenience, maybe post-Labor Day, and make a presentation to us as to what happened and why they're seeking those incremental funds.
So you're talking about additional funding for, right? much?
Right.
41,000.
41,000.
Okay. So sometime in September, okay?
Yep.
So just so I'm clear, you'd like us to invite the Housing Authority at a September agenda to discuss their additional request of $141,000 for the Oak Street property?
Yes, I know, I think the day after Labor Day is the 3rd. I think that's the state primary. I don't know if we're
Right.
meeting that day, but maybe anywhere the 10th, the 17th,
Yeah.
or the 24th.
The September 3rd is the state primary, so I would assume we're not going to meet on the day of the election, so it would be September 10th.
That works for
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. Anyone else have new business? I have a couple things, Derek, please. In light of Mr. Price retiring tonight, I'd like to do a proclamation sometime in September and thank him for his service to this community. And I'd also like to do another proclamation for Bill Cohan, who served for, I don't know how many years on the CPC. It has to be over 23 years. Not that he's retiring, but I think it's, the right thing to do and to thank him for his service in the community. He's done a lot. So we can put those two in there for September. Anybody have anything under letters? Old business? Okay. We're gonna, on August, there's no meeting August 13th, but August 20th, we got on the docket already, Open Space Committee, Open Space and Recreation Plan, August 20th. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for watching. Have a good week. We'll see you on the 20th.